All right, man. UFC 291 outperforms Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford at the pay-per-view gate. Let's talk about it. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. That subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live or drop video. They don't really release official figures, neither. They leak it to the press. Sometimes it's that's about the number. Sometimes it's a little bit less. Sometimes it's significantly less, depending on what you deem significantly less. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel once again. Check out the MMA and boxing news playlist, all right? So it says UFC 291 buys reach 750K, bring in 40 million in revenue from that. Now, boxing, Spencer Crawford brought in 55 million in revenue. But their ticket was $5 more. I don't know how much that mattered, but five times 650,000 times, that could be a difference. All right. So UFC, but the thing about the UFC and ESPN, they exclusively sell it through ESPN. They exclusively sell it through ESPN's Plus, which has been a failure for ESPN. They just don't have the content on there interesting enough to keep people paying. You know what I'm saying? They just don't have the content. But they get to keep. They don't have to split any of the money with the cable companies. Now, do they split any of that additional money as the lone distributor with UFC or the fighters? I know they probably don't split shit with the fighters. So we know that. But it says UFC pay-per-view event UFC 299 was a huge success with the estimated 750,000 buys, which brought in an estimated 40 million in revenue. This is the highest number for PBC for UFC pay-per-view since UFC 261 in April 2021. The main event of the UFC 291 featured the fight for the baddest mother effer title, BMF, blowing money fast. Between former two interim lightweight champions Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje. Gaethje shocked the world by knocking out Poirier with the head kick around the world in the second round. So the co-main event was between former light heavyweight champ Jane Blachowicz and welcoming former middleweight champion Alex Pereire to the division. Pereire won by split decision and solidified himself as the next contender for the light heavyweight championship. He said those high number of buys for UFC 291 is a testament to the popularity of UFC and the two biggest stars, Poirier and Gaethje. The event also benefited from being held in Salt Lake City, which is starting to look like an up-and-coming destination for UFC events. So UFC continues to grow the brand. It's probably still expensive to live out in Salt Lake City, out in Utah. And guess what? They ain't got nothing else going out there sports-wise. So guess what? It's probably cheaper to get out there. That's one thing boxing failed to do. Boxing is it's like a dude. Men are a lot of men are naturally organized, and they like doing the same thing over and over again. So why a lot of y'all wives leave y'all, because they want something spontaneous. Then they start actually get the handcuffs and role play, and we gotta do something different than the dinner and the movie. Dudes, a lot of times we eat the same shit over and over again. We can do the same thing over and over again. We simple creatures to be happy. That's like boxing. UFC is like a spontaneous man. They think outside the box. They grow their sport. They put dojos in other countries to identify talent. They reinvest in the sport. They do things that other combat sports entities don't do. All right. And that's kind of how you got to live your life when you with a woman. Nobody wants the same boring thing. She wants you to surprise her with something different. If that's, taking her to a romantic hotel, away. If that's, I don't know. It's just, it's crazy. But in addition to pay-per-view buys, UFC 291 generates significant gateway income. Gateway income is revenue sources other than the pay-per-view buys, such as ticket sales, sponsorships, merchandise. UFC does not release official figures or for gateway income, but the estimated 291 generated over 100 million in gateway income. That's a significant amount of money. It shows UFC is. I don't know about that 100 million. I really don't know about that. That would literally be the highest gate I ever heard of. So that number, I don't think is true. I don't really think that number is true. they generated 100 million from the gate. I don't. I really don't. I don't see what they reporting right here. So it's 20K stadium. So they said the estimated figures for capacity on the fight day was 19.5. So they didn't even sell it out. The revenue exceeded 7 million from ticket sales. So 7 million from the gate. So it says that Justin Gaethje pay-per-view, the Dustin Pereire will engage more fans in UK state pay-per-view card capacity. Has to bring more. So this is just estimated. So as far as the numbers, so they made 7 million from ticket sales. Now, if you think they made 93 million from other stuff like sponsorships, and I doubt that, especially without Las Vegas. That $100 million, he was wrong on that. Trust me. Trust me. But they made around 40 million from the pay-per-view buy. Spencer Crawford made around 55 million. And that's domestically. And these both sound like domestic numbers, United States. So they saying that Spencer Crawford just landed shy of 700,000 at 650. 650. So it's probably somewhere between 640 to 690 something. So UFC still won. They made more money because they in Vegas. They had 19,990 people at the T-Mobile. That's probably damn near a sellout. They made more than 21 million in ticket sales compared to 7 million for that fight. But then again, they in Vegas. Al Heyman allegedly bought and resold a lot of those tickets. So that's the difference. That's the difference. Now people saying, well, Ryan Garcia and Tank dwarfed them. I mean, they made $1 million more. I don't think that's dwarfing somebody. I mean, dwarfing is like $5 or $6, $7 million. Well, that's my opinion on it. It's subjective. It's subjective. But 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 I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, I mean, this hurt their pay-per-view buys going. I don't know why UFC and boxing went head up on this day. It just didn't make no sense. They always doing this shit. If it's not another boxing company, now you got UFC, you got other MMA companies that's going head up. To me, it just don't make no sense. And then next week we don't have shit going on. But this week we don't have nothing going on but Jake Paul. Nobody can just move their event back 1 week where we can have something to watch. I just, combat sports just do it to itself. They rather compete than they'd rather compete, they'd rather compete than work together. And that's the way of the world, bro. That's why racism exists. That's why, it's a great divide. Because everybody just can't work together and be happy. I mean, even in some societies that don't, the reason why society in America can't work because can't nobody mind their business. Everybody always got to be jealous or how you do this and why you get to do that. If everybody minded their business, we'd be better off. As mind their business and work together. We need to work together. We'd be way better off. Real talk. But yeah, man, they beat them. They beat them, and the reason, they beat them. They beat them. And UFC is a machine. When it come to marketing, when it come to finding new talent, building dojos, reinvesting into their company and all that stuff. So I mean, Al Heyman got to step his game up, bro. Boxing got to step his game up. But hey, let me know what you girls and guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and the subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance. Get notifications. We go live or drop video. Check out the MMA playlist, boxing news playlist. Hit the link tree. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the whole nine. Appreciate the love, support. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. Peace.